Welcome to EnergyRogue.com, the go-to source for the latest insights and analysis on the energy commodities market. Led by two industry veterans, Bill Shanahan and Brian Pieri, as they host their weekly commodity market recap. With over 55 years of combined experience in the energy sector, Bill and Brian bring a wealth of knowledge and expertise to the table. From trading and hedging to finance and optimization, they have seen it all and are here to break down the latest market trends and share their insights. So sit back, relax, and get ready to dive into the world of energy commodities with Bill and Brian on EnergyRogue.com.
Hey.
Hey, man. Hey, listen, you hear what that guy said? We've seen it all. I mean, I've seen a lot of things. I mean, I've seen a guy in a gorilla suit playing the accordion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's quite a bit, but I'm not sure I've seen it all.
No, nobody's
Yeah.
actually ever seen it all. So,
Yeah. Well,
so listen,
uh,
welcome to Wednesday. Welcome to Wednesday, where we are going to chat energy markets, and we're going to chat a little bit about natural gas and volatility, price volatility, where it comes from.
2025, man, here we are.
Yeah,
This
where
is
it
our
comes
first one in this
from.
year, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It
Yes, it
is.
is. Welcome to 2025. Yeah.
Oh, no. Where's our flying
So,
car?
what? I don't know. I don't know.
Well, it's pretty well assured by my third grade teacher we'd be flying around in cars.
No, it's the Jetsons. The Jetsons is the one that got us so used to it. So
No.
in
You
today's
know what?
session,
Now that you mention that, my third grade teacher looked a lot like Mrs. Jetson.
oh, nice.
Yeah, it was
Did
nice.
she have like the little hair flip up and like
Oh,
the
yeah, exactly. All that.
anyway, okay. So
Maybe this is how
listen,
I saw her.
thanks so much for coming. We're going to talk a little bit about natural gas price volatility, where it comes from, what it's about, and what you can do so that you're prepared for it each and every time, each and every day. Because one thing is for certain, you are going to experience natural gas price volatility. It is always going to be there, and we are always going to have it. So let's actually walk through it. As a matter of fact, today we've had a pretty wild day. Today we're trading about 361, and this is just a chart of a 4-hour chart. And over the last couple weeks, we spiked up to 420, went down to 344. Now we're settling in about 361. So what are the key drivers for price volatility? One is supply and demand. The second is weather patterns. The third, storage levels, and the fourth, global LNG trends. Is there anything else that we're missing there?
I would say that there's some regional um, demand patterns as well.
Yes. And that will drive different price activity. So a lot of times we are looking at the price activity in and on NYMEX, which is going to be at Henry Hub. And but these are the factors that are really going to drive natural gas for the longer term. So the longer term,
So let's give an example of that, okay? So yesterday, NYMEX was trading what range?
yesterday NYMEX was trading. What was yesterday? Tuesday. It
The 7th.
traded anywhere from 367 to 344. So about a
Are you ready for this?
20-cent range.
Cash prices in Midcon yesterday, Enable was 417.
Yep.
Panel Eastern was 426, and Southern Star was 424.
Yep.
They were higher than NYMEX.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about in volatility.
Well, in volatility, I mean that comes about in weather patterns. These weather patterns are significant. So weather patterns, storage levels, supply, demand, and global LNG. If you can understand these, then you're going to be equipped for that price volatility. So let's keep marching on. Supply and demand, market fundamentals. If you have increased demand, prices rise. Balanced market, stable prices. Excess supply, prices fall. So you have to look at the kind of the what we call the balance of the market. And when you look at the balance of the market, you're going to be more equipped to understand what is actually happening into the marketplace. Do we have too much? Do we have too little? And we're going to show you a few charts a little bit later on how you can look into supply and demand and come up with ideas for how to handle that price volatility. So now let's get into weather patterns. And good morning, Richard. Richard, great to see you. Great to see you. Listen, let's talk this week. I think I sent you something, so hopefully that does the trick. Bill's gonna look it over, see if I missed something because I often do. So good morning. So weather patterns are nature's influence. Weather impact, summer or winter impact, and summer impact. So why is weather important for natural gas in the winter, Bill?
Well, first of all, it's always about weather on natural gas, one way or the other, heat or cold. Uh, but the other thing is that it's also capacity constraints, and so let's say in say Oklahoma this last week, very cold,
Hmm.
very cold.
Hmm.
We had some highs. I think we went 72 hours below zero, below freezing,
Right.
and that's a couple of nights below zero. Well, some of the mid-continent wells will freeze off at that point. And the fact is, I think you have to be the way we were looking. When we were talking to Brendan, we were talking about being at 27 degrees for more than 4 or 6 hours will cause a freeze off in a well.
Right.
And so we had that situation here in Oklahoma. So what does that do? That means less gas is available on the market right when everybody needs it, which is runs the price, which is why the daily price
Hmm.
yesterday ran above NYMEX. And so when it comes in and you, it affects operations significantly. And so people say, well, can't you winterize those wells?
Right.
Well, it's sort of like if you lived in a house and it got cold in your house 3 days a year, would you spend $100,000 to insulate it? Probably not. You just
Yeah.
figure out how to last those 3 days.
Right.
Now that's what you look at it when you're talking about it, and especially in some of these smaller wells. And so those are the kind of things that happen on a regular basis. Basically oil and gas is outdoors. And so you have to deal with the climate no matter what it is outdoors, hot or cold, you have to deal with the climate because you can have some of the same problems when it's hot.
Right. Yep. Well, and ultimately, winter impact. The colder it gets, the more people are running furnace heat, and
Right.
furnace heat is coming from natural gas. In the
And,
summer,
and that
you
curve is not straight. The colder it gets, the more they use per degree
okay,
colder. So that's the part that people forget. It's not just a straight 45-degree angle as you go down there. The
okay,
colder it gets, the more gas you use. And a few degrees can make a significant increase in the demand.
okay. No, that's good to know. That's definitely good to know. The summer effect really has to do with cooling demand or air conditioning, which is going to drive up power, which natural gas becomes a massive component for power. I'll show some charts on all of these in just a sec. Well, not just a second. We're gonna walk through the presentation, and then we'll walk through some of the charts. So
And by the way, folks, if you have any questions, post them in the comments. We'll be
yeah,
more than happy to address them.
yeah,
And so don't. This is an interactive type thing. So let us know, man.
yeah.
We are live.
Oh, we are live, and that's why our friend
Or,
Richard. Hey, Richard. That's why our friend Richard
or
pops in
I guess,
and checks in on us.
in like the Princess Bride, we're mostly alive.
Love that movie. Storage levels are the balancing act. In low stocks or low storage, we're going to have prices surge. Moderate stocks, prices stabilize. High stocks, prices decline. And because if the more we have in storage, the less afraid the market is that we're not going to have enough. The lower the stocks are, there's more fear that drives price because we're worried we're going to run out. So storage levels is kind of the balancing act. That's the next stage that we really take a look at.
And folks, we can show an exception to every one of those statements.
Yeah, yeah. Well, anything when you get into trading is not 100%. When you get into trading or hedging, it's about directional. It's about aligning yourself around some of the fundamentals to understand your fundamental base. Because many people look at a chart and they look at the chart and they think that this is the universe of all the knowledge. Well, the fact of the matter is that the knowledge base is at $4.50, different supply comes into the mix. It also
Exactly.
takes off other demand side. So this is not a straight through formula to where you can actually model this. And this is part of the reason analysts in natural gas have different projections. They have different projections because they just simply don't know. Because
Also, why
oh, go ahead.
it's also why they spend more time with their therapist.
Be excellent to each other.
So, another great movie, Princess Bride, Bill and Ted's. If you haven't seen them, they're fantastic movies. Um, global LNG trends, and again, we're going to show some charts in just a bit about why this is impactful. New supplies from Qatar and Australia expanding exports. So, how much global supply of LNG? This factors into things geopolitics, the Russia-Ukraine conflict, and as a matter of fact, there's some news about the pipeline going through Ukraine, and that is actually going to increase the reliability of LNG in Europe, which means Europe is likely, TTF is likely to be higher for longer. So this
Right.
is what that translates to. And what does that mean for the US market? Well,
Yeah, more demand.
it means more demand, kinda, and I'll get to kinda in just a bit. Price arbitrage. Regional differences drive trade flows, and that could be in the United States, that could be from the United States to TTF, which is Europe, LNG imports, or JKM, which is Japan Korea marker, which is a benchmark for LNG into Asia. So this is another factor to stay on top of. And then real-time insight. What is actually happening right now today? Daily insights, timely updates on the market shifts, expert perspective, going beyond the raw data into actionable insights, and trend forecasting, anticipating future market moves. And this is where we created Energy Rogue, Rogue Radar, and Rogue Edge. Energy Rogue is our company. Rogue Radar is one service level, and Rogue Edge is another service level. So we're going to
Right.
tell you a little bit about both of those. Inside of Rogue Radar, each week, you're going to get access to a first of the week video with commentary on what is happening right then, Monday morning. Plus, you're going to get a Monday morning game plan, which is going to give you insights. This came out on Monday. And if you look at this week on crude oil is set to charge to 76.26, but might retest 72.95. And on natural gas, 367.9 is the key bull bear number. So these are price levels that I indicate. We're not financial advisors. Please do your own research. You can read all the disclaimers below. But with Rogue Radar, you get a Monday morning game plan that includes a video, a PDF, and text down below so that you are prepared. This comes out Monday morning and you're prepared for the week. And then as the information comes out during the week, you actually transition to Rogue Radar, which is going to have another video where we recap it, plus crude oil, natural gas, and your Rogue Radar report, which is going to give you our convenient red light, green light, and going to tell you, are we bullish or bearish on storage, weather, production, Canadian imports, demand, LNG, Mexico, international, what does European storage look like? Then down below, we have crude oil. What do commercial stocks look like? Oil and product stocks, production, demand. This is going to save you 30 hours a week of research. So you can either stay uninformed on what is happening in the energy markets in terms of the raw supply and demand, weather, storage, and what was the fourth one? And LNG.
Yeah.
That was the other one.
Global.
Or you can lean into something that gives you access to this information in a convenient format. And for those that want to take the next step, Rogue Edge is a complete dashboard with interactive charts that cover, for instance, on weather, we cover gas weighted degree days right here, and you can actually identify trends. And this is the reason that we came off a little bit on price, is because our gas weighted degree days are headed down. So that's the reason that we're not up at 387 anymore. You can also take a look at supply, and you can actually create trends and understand what is happening on supply. Well, we're kind of growing, but not significantly. I mean, since last year, we're actually down, because last year we were around this level way up here, and we're now all the way down here. And part of this is because we track multiple things, such as what the trends are on, are we growing or declining? And since last year, we've been in decline. A lot of people have projected week on week, we're gaining, and we've been looking at the raw data, and the raw data is we are in decline. So we watch these numbers on the supply side. We watch these numbers on the demand side. We watch these numbers on the storage side. And Rogue Edge gives you access to not only all these charts, but you can actually do some extensive research and compare it against periods where you want to take a look at, well, what happened in 2020? What happened during COVID? Well, this is where we were on COVID, and then we added a bunch. So you can actually analyze and assess the market. And what is, in addition to that, we also take a look at the technicals, and we target what is actually happening on the technical market. And also in Rogue Edge is an AI Copilot. This is coming out this month. This is going to be a chat resource that is going to give you a strategy, and it is not for recommendations, it is for idea generation. So this is
Right.
a trading signal service. This is something that you can ask it, hey, what do you think about this idea? And it'll tell you. So this is where the magic happens, is really in our Discord channel, which is for all our Rogue Edge members. And you can join our Discord room, and you can go inside, and it's loading. I actually have it up in a different window. So this is what we can see inside that window, and we can talk about what's happening right now today. And
Right.
we are talking about specific targets, specific levels. This is all today. We're just chatting about the market 24/7, 365. So
Right. It's real time discussion, man. That's what you're looking for. And so, and also on that, going back to Rogue Edge, one of the good things about that is you pull up one of those charts, Brian. All those charts you can actually download to put in a presentation. If you're making a presentation,
Mhm.
you can arrange these charts any way you want, or within reason. Can't make it 1,000 things, but and then be able to download that and put it in a presentation of your own, and that is part of the deal. I mean, that's just what you get. So here, if you're looking at what the basis points are, you can look at this way and show it, and be able to, if you're having to defend your position within your company, we give you the data to be able to do that.
I mean, you can actually identify, okay, Henry Hub is here, JKM is here, TTF is here. What is happening between them? And you can create strategies. And that's part of the reason that we have a Discord community, is so that we can talk about those ideas. And if you are in Rogue Edge, we'll give you input as far as what we think. We're not financial advisors, but we will tell you our opinion.
Yeah, we've
So
been in this business a long time. And the other thing is that our new weather products, probably one of the more exciting things for us, is because now we're beginning to do something that no one's ever done before, and that's be able to take these financial and and fundamental data, combine it with weather data, and be able to give you a very deep understanding about what's happening, especially in the natural gas world.
right. And that's really, really important. So Energy, if you go to energyrogue.com, you can click down here and you will see exactly what you get with Rogue Radar, which is $89 a month. You get our red light, green light system. You get daily support and resistance levels. You get video insights twice a week. It also saves you 20 plus hours a week. Rogue Edge is $179 a month. That gives you everything inside of Rogue Radar plus the dashboard to 150 charts on crude oil, natural gas, heating oil / diesel, natural gas liquids, and more. You can access our private Discord channel, in-week video updates. I just submitted one this morning. Q&A with our team of experts. We will weigh in on your opinions. You can ask your questions, get your answers, and you can actually have access to our AI Copilot strategy sessions. So that is what you get with Rogue Radar. But let's actually recap everything. With Energy Rogue, you get informed decisions, risk management, market intelligence, and data analysis. You are now equipped, and this will transform you from uneducated on the energy markets to understanding what is actually happening in the marketplace. And now we're going to recap natural gas price volatility. What are the areas that you should look at? Supply, demand, weather patterns, storage levels, global LNG trends. All of those are things that we track inside. For instance, here's weather. And this is right inside Rogue Edge. And then you can flip over to supply. You can take a look at supply and what is happening there. You can see we are down from last year. Quite a lot.
Yeah,
Quite a
absolutely.
lot. So you can actually see, okay, the supply side is down. Now, what about demand side? Demand side is up. Now you can get to kind of the balance of the market. What does supply look like? What does demand look like? This is one of my favorite charts, which is actually showing dry gas production, but it is actually showing, let me take off that one. And you can actually see something during the summer. Anytime this number is positive, that is summertime injection period. I want you to notice something. We are slowly stair-stepping down on how much we're actually injecting in the summer time frame. Now, what's also changing is the width of how long these winter periods are. You know, this back in 2020, we had a much wider winter. This was a little narrower. This, a little bit back to wide. 2023 was pretty wide, but it was not steep. And last year, this last winter was actually very, very weak, with the exception of a 2-week block. This was 2 weeks. And so far, with us starting here, I think, and according to our expert on the Discord side, we actually have our own weather channel. in our own weather Discord channel on Discord. And Brendan is our weather guru. Brendan is one of the best meteorologists that we have seen, and also one of the best meteorologists that we have encountered in the business. And by encountered, we have been in this business for 30 plus years, and he understands how weather impacts it. And you will have access to all of that that is kind of like impacting everything on the weather side, everything on everything on the weather patterns. So,
and he does videos as well, and he tries to bring everything about the weather from the perspective of gas demand and
yep.
gas. And so that's something that's different that you don't find with all the weather guys. They might tell you what the temperature is, but we're working on training and working with Brendan to where we show why weather as a demand event. And so, I mean, he's worth the money just by himself.
Definitely.
And
I mean,
so
so here's the thing. You're not going to get around volatility. We are going to wrap it up. If you have any questions, just chat us because we should see it. I haven't seen chats come in from X. If you post them on X, I will try and get back to them personally, or you can reach out to us directly at, where is it? Right here. You can email us and ask your question, and we will get back to you. So, but decoding natural gas price volatility, one fact, we're always going to have price volatility. Second fact is, if you do not stay on top of supply, demand, weather, LNG trends, and storage, these 4 critical areas, if you're not staying on top of those, you are going to get sideways on some of your natural gas positions if you're in the market a lot. So one thing is important. If you're in the natural gas business, whether you are selling natural gas, whether you're buying natural gas, trading natural gas, moving natural gas, you need to stay up
servicing
date.
producers.
Yeah. You need to stay up to date on what those factors are going to be. You know, supply, demand, weather patterns, storage levels, and global supply trends. So, does look like we got a couple questions. Joe, hey, good to talk to you this morning. Is injection declines because of storage constraints due to previous warm winters? Yeah, no. You're right and you're wrong. There's 2 different things happening there. The injection declines are due to more power demand in the summer. Now, the warm winters means that we had a smaller, a narrower period here, or less steep. In other words, this year was less steep. That means less demand. But in the summer period, we're injecting less because we're having more power demand. And let me show you what I mean there. And you'll have to generalize on the seasonal aspect, but recognize power demand in the summer is going to be a lot higher than in the winter. But what you can see on this trend is we are continuing to set higher highs and higher lows. The lows depend on the winter weather, so but those are kind of stair stepping up. But what you'll see is that our highs, which are the summer period, are taking more gas in this past. We're setting new records every year on electric power consumption. So as much as renewables have been added, it's not keeping pace with the electricity.
Right.
And if you look on the electricity tab, you can see actually how much natural gas actually provides is this green part right here. It provides the bulk of our electric consumption. So this is just,
And it is the swing. It is the swing molecule as well.
yeah. So yeah, that's the swing.
And just remember when we talk about 5-year averages on storage, that isn't including any increased demand.
Right.
And so when we say 5-year storage is normal, well, normal isn't normal because we're increasing in demand and we're going to need more storage and to make it through the winter or the summer based on what it is. And so I think there's a lot
You
there.
can see the same principle added here, that our lows are getting higher on demand side and our highs are getting higher. Not consistently, because it still has a very large weather component, but to
Right.
add to that, if we take our exports back in time, you can see we went from, say, 5 BCF a day in 2016 when this data started to over 20, and we're looking at a plus 5 BCF a day in 2025 to this. So we're going to grow our demand by 5% in 2025.
Or to
So,
say it differently, we're going to grow our exports by 25%.
so hopefully that answers your question, Joe. If not, we can cover that offline. But and Steve, you never missed it. I think you can rewatch this once we get done, or you can email us at rogue@energyrogue.com. Let me throw that back up here. There we go.
So if I want to know all of this information, what do I need to
Let me
do?
make you an offer that you can't refuse.
Well, listen, I'm putting this banner up there. What can you do about
How about-
where you go from here? Where you go from here, you can
Exactly.
you have a choice. You have a choice. Your choice is you can continue to look at technical charts, you can ignore the fundamentals, or you can spend 30 hours a week researching it.
Or
Your last
you can
choice
subscribe to Energy Rogue. Yeah.
Your last choice is you can subscribe to Energy Rogue, because we have shortcutted everything to make 30 hours of research compressed into one, alongside expert opinions, to where you get with Rogue Radar, you get videos, you get PDFs twice a week, you get 2 weekly videos, and then inside of Rogue Edge, you get those videos, plus you get insight on your strategy. So that is actually what's important. And if you just go to energyrogue.com, you can choose your adventure, go to Rogue Radar, and just click right here, $89 a month. And that gets you the 2 videos and 2 PDFs. That is going to take you from zero to knowing what you need to know on the natural gas and oil markets.
From
And
zero to hero.
well, I think Edge is hero, because now you actually get not only our voice, but our entire community, which is in 5 different continents. We have global energy experts, and these are institutional traders. These are physical traders, some of the biggest in the country, in the United States, as well as international LNG traders and individual traders. So if you want to join that community, that is $179 a month. That gives you access to our Discord community, insight from us personally, and we will meet with you once a month to make sure you're on the right track. So that is actually what you can do. And Steve,
And if
thank
you don't do that,
so glad you enjoy it.
and if you don't do that,
Furthermore, you're making a big mistake.
Yeah. Well, and
Make you an offer you can't refuse.
we got all
Exactly.
kinds of
If they make you an offer, whatever it is, just take it.
Just take it. Just take it. Anyway, we're not going to drone on about our offerings. If you want to choose that adventure, that's great. We would love to have you. We just want you equipped. And again, the main thing that we wanted to leave you with is watch these supply demand, weather patterns, storage levels, and global LNG trends. If you do not track these, then you are open to price volatility that you won't see coming. If you can capture these and understand these, you're going to be more well equipped to capture swings in the right direction and capture the wave on the way up and the wave on the way down. So that is actually what we're here to do, is provide that as a resource for you. So hopefully this has helped. If you have any questions or you want to reach out, you can email us again at, where is it? Right here, rogue@energyrogue.com. We're here to help your mission and help you in 2025 make it amazing. So thank you so much for joining us. I don't have any more. Do you have any more, Bill?
I think that this is the start of a really interesting year in the energy business. And I think if you're not paying attention, the interesting part will not be a good thing.
Yeah. Well, however, I gotta hand it to you. Back in, I think you were the first one that mentioned natural gas would get to 4 before the end of the year, and it did. So
That's right.
there you go. Kudos to Bill. Yay. And listen, we're just a couple guys on the internet. Don't listen to us as financial advisors. We are expert commodity hedgers, traders, and industry participants. So if any of that resonates with you and you want our input on you or your business, reach out to us, let us know. We're here to help. And besides, we don't have masks on. I just want to be very clear about that.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
And we're friendly.
That's right.
So
We're friendly. And
yeah.
besides, I have seen a man in a gorilla suit playing an accordion in the parade. Man, when you've seen that, you've seen almost all.
Yeah, definitely. Well, welcome to 2025. Let's make it an amazing year. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate you. And we hope to see you next week at our regularly scheduled time. I had a little bit of a glitch. If Steve, I think you missed it probably because of my error. I think I put it at, Bill told me at midnight. It defaulted to midnight. So we did not come online at midnight to do this. So we may in 2025 though. I don't know. You
Yeah.
tell me.
I mean, I was awake. I just didn't turn it on.
Yeah. So have a great one. Enjoy yourself. Be safe. Be kind. And we will see you next week.